I watched the first two episodes of Daredevil and I gave it a few days. Wanted to let it marinate over the weekend before I gave my reaction to it. And I have to say that it's a good show, but it's starting off really slow. In the first episode, though, there was a really good fight scene that involved Daredevil. And then, just like is mentioned in the trailers, I'm going to try to keep the spoilers out of this as much as possible. I'm going to try not to mention any spoilers. So if I accidentally do, I apologize for that. If you haven't seen it yet, it's definitely worth watching. I would recommend it, but just be prepared that it starts off very slow. There is a fight scene in the first, I don't know, 15 minutes of the show that is really good. It reminds me of when the show was on Netflix, and this is an obvious continuation, but then again, they're starting anew, so they're trying to set up the story. But at the same time, there's a couple of things I'd like to see different, but I'll get to that in just a minute. Anyway, we start off with a lot of Daredevil, and we start off with a fight. But if you've seen the trailers, you know that Matt Murdock gives up being Daredevil for a reason. I won't say why. It's pretty surprising. I did not expect that at the very beginning of the first episode of the series, but yeah, it's actually kind of shocking. It's definitely a surprise. I can't believe they did that. So if you haven't seen it, definitely recommend watching it. But we get Daredevil, we get a great fight, and then they fast forward a year. Matt has given up being Daredevil. He's just Matt Murdock, attorney at law, and that's pretty much what the rest of the first episode and the second episode feel like. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm really glad that they are exploring the lawyer side of Matt Murdock. And it's pretty interesting watching him work as a lawyer. I get that. I like it. It makes me think of Lincoln Lawyer, just with a little bit of a a little bit of a darker tone, very much darker tone. Definitely rated R. Definitely got some language in there. Definitely got the violence. Definitely graphic. But as much as I would like to see him as an attorney, working cases, because he's a good attorney. He's a very good attorney. We should definitely get that in the show. But that's not all I want. The show is called Daredevil. It's about Daredevil, the superhero. It's not Matt Murdock, attorney at law. And as interesting as it is watching Matt be a lawyer, which brings a great new aspect to the show that I really like. Don't get me wrong, I really like this aspect. But at the same time, I also want to see him be Daredevil. And they've kind of gone back to the way the Netflix show used to do it. He tries not to be Daredevil. We get lots of the season with him not being Daredevil. And that's the only thing, if I'm really nitpicking about the Netflix show, that I didn't like. He didn't wear his suit the whole first season. Then he wore it the whole second season. Then third season he went back to not wearing it, and it was just really annoying. And that's the only thing here that I won't say it's annoying with Daredevil Born Again, but I want more Daredevil. But I also appreciate what they're trying to do. They're taking their time. They're setting up the story. At the very heart of the story, it's Matt Murdock versus Wilson Fisk. And I gotta say, it's great seeing Charlie Cox back as Matt Murdock, Daredevil. He does a great job, which, is expected. We knew he would. Vincent D'Onofrio, great job as Wilson Fisk. These two were born to play these roles. They're great. I cannot praise them enough. I love seeing both of them back in these roles. I love that the show's back. There's very much a darker feel. It's not your normal Disney show. It's got a very different feel than all the other shows. There's, like I said, rated R, and it's good. It's good so far. It's not great. I won't go overboard and say it's great. I'm not going to say it's the best show ever created, but it's just the first two episodes. They're taking their time. They're setting up the story. They're putting the pieces in place. I can appreciate that. And for anybody who watches this show and just expects it to be nonstop action right out of the gate, picking up where the old show left off, they're starting over, reboot, which, I mean, isn't a surprise. We all knew that's what they were doing. They're introducing Daredevil into the MCU, which he's very much in the MCU. They mentioned the Avengers. Spider Man gets a mention. Punisher gets a mention, even though he was already in the other show. And if you've seen the trailers, he's going to be in the show at some point. Matt does eventually go back to being Daredevil. So I will reserve judgment for the entire series once I've seen the entire first season. I heard at one point it was going to be 20 plus episodes. I'm not sure how many it's going to be now. Honestly, I kind of hope it's not 20 plus episodes because if this slow pace keeps up, I know it's going to turn a lot of people off. They know that. They have to know that. Pretty interesting story setting up so far. There's still some tension between Matt Murdock and Wilson Fisk. Fisk obviously knows that he was Daredevil or is Daredevil. So we'll just have to see where it goes. Like I said, I'm liking it so far. I think it's going to be a really good show. It's got that same dark feel that the Netflix show had. Not exactly the same exact feel that show had. I don't know, just something feels a little bit different about this one. I guess there's something supposed to feel a little bit different about this one because it is a soft reboot. But we'll just have to wait and see. Like I said, we're only 2 episodes into it. I'll reserve judgment until I've seen the whole season. But they've got me definitely hooked back in, and I'd recommend it. But just don't go into it expecting it to be all Daredevil all the time, nonstop action. The first 2 episodes are slow moving. Honestly, compared to other Marvel TV shows, this one is shaping up to be a lot better, I think. I can't say for sure, but I really feel like it's shaping up to be a lot better than anything Marvel's put out on the TV side of things. But in order to keep this spoiler free, I'm going to stop talking there because there's a lot more I could say about a lot of the stuff that happens. But if you haven't seen it, it's worth the watch. I hope it picks up soon. I hope we get back to more Matt Murdock and Daredevil in the series. Yeah, they can do a nice balance with it. I wouldn't mind that at all. Watching him in court and then watching him fight crime at night would be pretty cool. I definitely like the attorney side of things that they're showing more of in Daredevil Born Again. But let me know what you think. Have you seen it? Do you like it? Let's try to keep the comments spoiler free. Let me know below, and I'll catch you next time.